Object. Capture your opponent's king piece before losing your own. This, of course, is called checkmate, and it's incredibly satisfying to pull off. It's widely thought of as the greatest board game ever created, and even more importantly, it's a playing game's essential, and you should know it. What you need. This is a chessboard. It has 64 usually black and white squares, or 2 other contrasting colors. There are 32 pieces. Each player gets a set of 16 of either dark or light pieces. Of those 16 pieces, a player will have 1 king, 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, and 8 pawns. So half of them are pawns. Setup. Players set up all 16 of their pieces on the 2 rows closest to them. Players must place the pieces in very specific positions, not creatively like Stratego. It's not too hard to remember the setup, as it's fairly symmetrical. Some boards like this one have helpful numbers and letters, but many don't show these. Players will sit opposite one another, and first things first, make sure the board is in the right orientation. If the square closest to you on your right side, this one, is white or light, you're set up correctly. If it happens to be a dark square by your right, the board is wrong, just twist it 90 degrees one way or the other. Rows 1 and 2 will hold the white pieces, and the starting lines for black are in the opposite far corner on rows 7 and 8. Speaking of the corners, your rooks go there. They look like little castle towers. They're cute, aren't they? Moving inward 1 square, place your knights down. They look like little horses. 1 more square inward will go our 2 bishops. The bishops look like little you-know-whats. Bishops. Now we have the king and the queen. Though they look similar, the king is slightly taller, often with a cross on his head. The queen typically has a nub at the middle of her head and points around her crown. Who goes where? The queen is a dame and goes on the D square, with the king at her side on the E square. E for his excellency. Another way to remember is that the queen is on the square that matches her color or tone. So if you're playing as white, the queen will go on the white square. And if you're playing as black, you guessed it, the black square. So that means your king goes between the queen and the bishop here. Finally, place all 8 pawns across the next row up. And now white has their complete setup. Black will be the mirror image of the white. Beginning play. The player on the white team always begins play. The white team will have a slight starter's advantage, so one way to decide who gets white pieces goes like this. One player will take 1 light and 1 dark pawn hidden in their hands, and ask the other player to guess which has the light piece. If they're correct, they start as white. If wrong, they get the darker set. Movement. Players must move 1 and only 1 piece on their turn. With the goal of capturing your opponent's king, you will work to eliminate enemy pieces, making the king's capture more inevitable. To capture, a player's piece must be moved onto an opponent's held square, like this or this, thus eliminating your opponent's piece and placing your own piece on that captured square. If a piece is captured, it's removed from the board. Here's how each piece moves and makes a capture. Pawns capture by taking a square up 1 diagonally. However, when moving a pawn without capturing, they move forward in a straight line. It's one or the other, capture diagonally 1 square or move forward 1 square. Pawns additionally have a special move that no other piece has. They can advance an extra space on their first move, choosing to move forward 1 or 2 spaces, but only if you have 2 empty spaces in front of you. They don't hop over other pieces either. Also, they can't capture more than 1 diagonal space on a single turn. Pawns only move and capture in a forward, not backwards direction, meaning you can't move your pawn back toward you on the board, only forward. Once a pawn has moved from its starting place, it doesn't get the chance to move more than 1 space again. Rooks capture by moving 1 or many spaces in an uninterrupted forward, backwards, or sideways lane. Their movement is only limited by pieces in their way or the ends of the board. They cannot move diagonally or hop over other pieces. Bishops move and capture in diagonal lines. Bishops can move diagonally forward or backward. The bishop, which starts on the white square, will only ever be able to move and capture on white diagonal squares. And the bishop, which starts on the black square, will only be able to move and capture on black diagonal squares. They can never move in straight lines or hop over other pieces. Like the rooks, their movement is only limited by pieces in their way or the ends of the board. Let me reiterate, if your uninterrupted move ends on an enemy piece's square, you can knock them off that square, claiming it for yourself and eliminating that piece from the board. You are not required to land on them and eliminate them. You can stop your advance before you reach them. You may not dislodge your own piece from a square though. In chess, there's no friendly fire allowed. Your pieces and the ends of the board serve as stoppage points. The queen combines the same abilities of both the rooks and the bishops. This means she can move forward, backward, to the sides, and diagonally in any direction. She cannot, however, change from straight lines to diagonal lines or vice versa on the same move. The queen's movement is only limited by pieces in her way or the ends of the board, and she cannot hop over other pieces. The chess king is a lethargic liege. He can't move in any direction, up, down, left, right, or diagonally. However, he can only move or capture one space from his square. He's a weakling and needs to be protected from himself. The knight is the trickiest piece, for better or worse. He is the only piece that can hop over other pieces. The movement of the knight is always 3 spaces and must be 2 squares in one direction and 1 in a perpendicular direction. This resembles the shape of a capital L. The knight can move in any direction as long as he makes that L shape and lands on either an enemy square or an empty square. Here are some possibilities for that. To capture another piece with the knight, it's not the piece or pieces that the knight hops over, as in checkers, but the square the knight lands on, like this. Ending your turn. It is only possible to capture one of your opponent's pieces per turn. You do not have to capture a piece on your turn. You can simply move one of your pieces to a new square, but you must move one and only one of your pieces. You can test your moves by holding your piece and moving it around to valid squares, but as soon as you let go of that piece in a valid square, your turn is over, even if you didn't want to make that move. Check. If one of your pieces moves to a position where it could capture your opponent's king on your next turn, you say, check. Your opponent must make a move to remove the threat or they will lose. If one of your pieces ends its turn by putting your opponent in check and they have no possible way to prevent you on your next turn, that is a checkmate. The game's over, you win. If you are in check, there are several ways to get out of check before checkmate. You could move your king into a space that's not under threat from your opponent. You could move another piece to block the attack, or you can eliminate the threatening piece. Note, a player can't make a move that puts their own king into check or under attack. It's not a valid move, just try again. End of game. The game can end when a player's king is in checkmate, meaning it can't escape capture. That results for a win in the opponent. The game could also end in a stalemate, which is a draw. A stalemate in chess occurs when a player on their turn has no available moves left to make, and their king is not currently in check. But what does that mean? If on your turn, for whatever reason, the only piece you can move is your king, in this scenario, your king isn't in check, but every square it could move to would put it into check, which is invalid. Since your king is not suicidal, he can't budge. Thus, the game ends in a stalemate. A game of chess can also end in a tie if the same moves keep happening over and over again. This is often called a draw by repetition. What does that mean? If both players keep making the same sequence of moves and the exact same board position comes up again and again, neither side is making progress. For example, one player keeps checking and the other keeps escaping in the same way, and then it just repeats and repeats. If the same position appears 3 times, it's a tie because the game is just stuck in an annoying loop. Special moves. Castling. You can do a special move where your king and one of your rooks switch. This is known as castling. It looks like this. The king will move 2 spaces in the direction of the rook it's castling with, and the rook will switch to the far side of the king. If you castled with the other rook, it would look like this. The king moves inward 2 spaces, and the rook ends up on the far side of the king. However, there are a few rules and provisos. Rule number 1, your king and the rook you are switching with must not have made a move up to this point in the game. Rule number 2, there has to be a clear path between the rook and the king, meaning no pieces are in the way. Rule number 3, your king can't currently be in check or move into check, including the empty space it travels through. En passant. Pawns have a special sneaky move known as en passant, which only applies to pawns. Here's how it works. If your opponent moves a pawn 2 spaces forward from its starting position and it lands right next to your own pawn, you can capture it as if it had only moved 1 space forward. But act now, this move must be done immediately on your next turn, or you will lose the chance forever. Pawn promotion. If your pawn reaches the final rank of the last row on your opponent's side, it must be promoted to a more powerful piece. Queen, rook, bishop, or knight. Pro tip, pick the queen. Do this by taking your newly promoted pawn off the board and replace it with one of your previously eliminated pieces. If you don't have the piece you want, for example, you have a queen on the board and you want a second one, you can use a queen piece from a different set, or use an eliminated rook, placing it upside down. Or you could even use something fun like this. That newly promoted pawn doesn't get an extra turn. You'll have to wait till your next turn to use its new power. The learning curve of chess is a near endless rabbit hole. There are no lucky hands, no hot dice. Chess is won by the best player. But if it's not clicking for you yet, don't walk away from this game, because it's like Mandela said, I never lose, I either win or learn. And there's lots of learning to be done on this board. Did I get something wrong? Do you want to brag about your ranking or just say hi? Leave a comment down below. You are great. See you next time on Playing Games.